What's good, DC?
What up? What up?
What's going on, guys? You are now being affected by the DC speakers. Jay Maestro here.
And your girl, Shadon Diva.
And we got a packed house tonight. We're representing DC.
It's so hot in here.
Black folks. Keep it sizzle. We got our man, Xander.
How's it going?
DMV Poets.
Yeah, the right. DMV Poet. What's going on?
We got Lady Midnight over on the other end.
Hey, everybody.
We're gonna put that thing on your hip so you can get to it a lot faster.
Like a holster?
A holster.
A holster microphone.
A holster microphone.
Right,
or a girdle. We'll give her a girdle.
What? No, we won't do that.
But more importantly, we have our man D.O.E C.I.G.A.P.O.M in the house with us. What's going on, man? Yeah. Got DC Fighters representing. How you been, bro?
Good, man. Just getting ready for this, I guess, new life God got in store for me. Moving from the DMV. I will be a resident of Dallas, Texas soon.
Yay.
Man.
I think it's all God, you know what I mean, for what I'm trying to do and what, you know, me and my wife trying to do. So,
what better place for a DC resident to move than Dallas, Texas?
And like I just told her, it's a lot of people like Redskins now down there. So don't, you know,
that $1 billion stadium, you know, all that legacy and heritage.
For me,
you know,
so
hey, like everybody, you know what I mean?
That's right.
That's right. Come down there, and fortunately, I can say that I will be going to the stadium just to say at least I've been to it. But the closest people that's from DC, you're gonna go to Texas Avenue, and that's just southeast. That's as far you're gonna get to the stadium. Right now.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna highlight one of our local performers right now, Stokes, with his song Circles. We're gonna come back with D.O.E. We're gonna talk about your projects you're working on, this big new move in life, and what we're gonna be expecting, even though you're there in the DMC.
Yes.
All right. You're on MASSOV Radio. Check it out, folks. Stokes, Circles.
Yeah. I rise to the occasion. IQ still Asian. Got the solution to the equation, but I still follow the motion. Potion, devotion, keeping the door open. Got the same vision, but to you it's just an illusion. I'm doing what you ain't doing, but I'm back to the square one. The cycle on my feelings got me pumping like a snare drum. Red rum, can you pour me some Appleton? I'm feeling kinda tipsy, but I play my position. Stop, look and listen to the words I be saying, cause when I look in your path, everything was paved different. Everything I've been through in a second. In a current state of mind, dog, I be tripping. Kept in for the longest, afraid of the loneliness. But that's what happens when you tryna be honest. I'm on it, still a target, but never broke the silence. I'm above it, you can forfeit. The Stokes is the finest. Circles, I'm still following the motion, and always trying to move with caution. It's like I'm drowning in the ocean, but I'm still playing my position. I'm still following the motion, and always trying to move with caution. It's like I'm drowning in the ocean, but I'm still playing my position.
A circle is perfect balance, though it also makes you dizzy. Got you feeling like you spinning, sweating like you always busy, doing the same thing overdose. Some folk overload and get so emotional. Me, I let the motion flow. It's constant like you watching laundry tumble around. I found such a continuous pattern can be somewhat profound. We bound to repeat one action so often that in the long run we probably all forgotten just where we had started at. Blowing O's, smoke spilling to the ceiling. Life secret so revealing. When you get him, I just peeped it. Rings and things appearing on my screen is kinda eerie, but I saw it all before, so it shouldn't really scare me. Pop's trying to prepare me, but this life is unpredictable. We don't get to pick and choose, deal with what is given to us. Must I reiterate, even though it's in your face? Food for thought, look down at your dinner plate. Circles,
I'm still following the motion, and always trying to move with caution. It's like I'm drowning in the ocean, but I'm still playing my position. I'm still following the motion, and always trying to move with caution. It's like I'm drowning in the ocean, but I'm still playing my position.
So we're back, guys. MASSOV Radio.
I like that song.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I found something that you like.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to please me.
I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
So, Do, what's going on, man? I mean, you've been keeping yourself busy, I see.
Yeah, just staying busy. Like I said, I'm working on this project. I have an album that I'm coming out with another producer, with the same producer that I just dropped Caged Birds with, Soulful. Now that we call him Drew Dave or Julius Dave. Okay. Doing a project with him called Lawkey, Lawki, which is Life as We Know It. Mm-hmm. And that album is representing D.O.E, C.I.G.A.P.O.M, what my name stands for, the acronym.
So what does it stand for? What does the acronym stand for?
Deliver on emotions. Can I get a peace of mind?
Wow.
You know what I mean? Or people, some people just say DC or D.O.E, C.I.G.A.P.O.M. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The brother's gonna find a way to make the name more cool to them to pronounce it. You know what I mean? But
well, speaking about that, you have a documentary that's out on YouTube.
Yes.
And I find it really fascinating, and the love and respect that many local artists have for you as a hip hop artist. Mm-hmm. And I jotted down a few of them, such as Benji.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, he said he first heard your flow in the studio and knew you were it. And I mean that says a lot. And of course, we had Uptown XO.
Yes,
and here a couple of weeks ago. Man, fantastic, brother.
He was just at the house yesterday. So,
oh man. So, and he said anytime that I get on the track with him, it's smoking. How do you take those type of good criticisms and not just float out of the room
and be egotistical with it?
Yeah, man.
I mean, I've been entertaining all my life since a kid, and like I said, I mean, I sung in the choir as a kid, just by the choir director hearing me sing one day, and I didn't sing, but he swore up and down, and the other lady swore up and down that I can sing.
That boy can sing.
Yeah, he said it just like that. That little boy can sing, plays Jesus. And I started singing then, but before that, I was always into dancing. Like, you know what I mean? I was known as the chubby kid, light on his feet. You know what I mean? Like, I would make a skinny dude look bad any day till this day, even dancing. You know what I mean? And that's not me being mixed with the island in me or none of that. It's just, I would just love music. And, I mean, I used to get beatings for it. Like, you would tell me not to touch a radio, I'm going to touch it. I got to hear what's on. Right. It's something that the music does something to me anyway, so.
Right. And I saw you smacking the congos on that documentary.
I've been playing that since I was 10 years old.
I mean, you had the true rhythm with it. I saw you lick the finger a little bit in there.
I was taught well. I got a couple of cousins that play the congas.
Okay.
And I had a band since I was 12 years old when I moved out into the Maryland Laurel area.
Okay.
Laurel, Maryland. And I was just fascinated of I learned how to play it from learning the pocket beat, but I also had somebody. I kind of learned it like as if I was blind. I used to just close my eyes and try to listen to those sounds and figure them out. Mm-hmm. And I fell into it, but I started out with drums.
Okay.
Playing the drums. So all percussion is something that I love to play. But,
gotcha.
the music.
Family have a heavy music background?
Yes, my father played drums at one point in time. My mother was in the choir as a child. My aunt played the organ. My grandfather was in the choir. My great-grandmother was in the choir. My father's mother, like I said, my father's side is Dominican. Mm-hmm. So, bachata, merengue.
Hence your pronunciation of the congas.
Yeah, congas. Tranquilo. Yeah, man. So it's just, man, music's just always been something. It's just something about it till this day. Right. I love music that can make me cry, sad, sing, happy, replay, repeat, whatever. But music is just something about it, man. Like, but yeah, it's just when I record with those guys and. You know what I mean? Like Benji said, is if you do look at history of hip hop, every big kind of heavy set dude spit better.
Yeah.
If you really listen to it, you know what I mean?
And what's funny though, and please take this as a compliment.
Oh no, I already know you about to go.
When I saw the videos, man, I saw Heavy D. I saw, with the eyes.
Oh yeah,
the
Bo Diddley. Oh, man.
And
he was man, what?
Yeah, I mean,
baggy pants.
Don't forget, he could dance.
What?
So I mean, it connected. But one of the other things, you had a line in one of your raps, and basically is that, and I don't hear it in music today. And basically, what you were saying pretty much was sidekick to Robin, you're just Batman's assistant.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't hear people make connections like that. You hear a lot of, normal cursing and, this and that. But where do you think has hip-hop or rap itself has gone that has allowed you, though, to maintain? Because a lot of people's trying to copy stuff that really is not authentic.
The easiest thing to copy is, and I label it, trap music. The stuff that you hear turn up, that you want to turn up in. Everybody can rap that way. Even myself, I've done it this year. And the music that I've done with content, I like it. But like I said, I'm a percussionist. So if you give me a beat, I'm going to try to rap towards that beat. I don't believe in, being, Johnny that's not from the hood and want to still try to dance to jazz. No, you're still going to look like a sore thumb. Like,
right.
So it's just that is so easy, and that's what makes it so hard for people like us to stand out, though. Because I grew up on hip-hop. And hip-hop, to me, was taught not just the elements of the DJing, scratching, graffiti, breakdancing, rhyming, freestyling,
right.
And also just writing. You know what I mean? It's more to that. Like, it's no disrespect. I'm skin. I'm hue. I'm human. I'm a man of color. So we vibrate different.
Absolutely.
So it's no disrespect. That's not a subliminal term, but it's true. I'm human.
Right.
And if you're not color, it's hard for you to vibrate the way we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a beautiful way of putting it. That's a beautiful way of putting it. So let's do this. I want to get into some of your music. Right now, like to play Summertime Stroll.
Okay.
And everything, since it's warm outside.
Okay.
Get the ladies and everybody vibing off of it.
Yeah, sundresses.
Tell us a little bit about it. Get us into it and everything.
This face he's making, though.
Yes. Summertime Stroll was more of the introduction of, as a kid, of me, but also just being as an adult now, in different perspective as, when I was a kid in trouble, or we'll look as kids in our adolescence of being useless to the society, of, say, walking around smoking weed and just enjoying the days in the neighborhood. That's what I was rapping about. Yeah. But it wasn't in the perspective of that's what the song is about.
Right.
And the perspective of is everything. Like I said in it, it's candlelight memorials. You know how the story goes. Younger had to die, only Lordy knows where homie goes. So these are the things that I went through. I grew up in the 80s. I was born in 82. Crack came in here on purpose in 82. In 89, the people that my family had ran with was gone, but not gone.
Right.
So the lifestyles that I've seen, can't too many people really relate of what I really grew up in my household. My household was kind of more, I'd rather have been out in the street than have been in my house.
Right.
So it's just the summertime stroll, just taking that walk through DC and
right.
You know what I mean? Just
right.
You know what I mean?
Well, let's vibe off of DC. Here's D.O.E, Summertime Stroll here on MASSOV Radio.
C.I.G.A.P.O.M.
See, I'm trying to hurry. I'm looking at my corner eye. You're trying to rush me off, and I'm trying to do this right. And you keep on messing with me.
Mia's gonna get her bell.
You just keep on messing with me.
Mike and Tina, Gina.
Summertime stroll, walk with me. Hey, look. Puffing on the funnel, breathing uptown air. The city that divide niggas past this like here. Coming through the wrong block, you gotta pay your fare. Cause if not, it's like playing a game of truth or dare. The truth being told, the story's always told by the younger who survive and the one who watch the fold. I'm trying to stack my cash till my pockets unfold. See many summers hot and see many winters cold. Niggas got popped and watched their face turn cold. I used to tell my mama the ghetto fucks on my soul, yeah. Then I asked why my heart is so cold, like I keep that bitch on polar bear froze. But what I do know is just the side effects of the ghetto, cause I gotta take my days more slow, like a summertime stroll. Puffing on the J's on the drove, just relax and watch the smoke flow. This is what I see when I summertime stroll, when I summertime stroll.
say hello. Some things never change, but the same stays old. So when it do change, make sure that you evolve like the evolution, like fungus growing on mold. This is what I see when I summertime stroll. When I summertime stroll. Still strolling on my fucking blocks and my avenues. I love my city. I show it with the gratitude. Yes, I got the attitude. Coming from the city that I'm from, you can die for one of your shoes without the tongue. Nobody wants to see you make it. So if they give you props, they're lying or they fake it. Now everybody's Muslim nowadays on that Assalamu alaikum. And 2 minutes later, it's where my salami bacon. If I offend you, then you should always know that those C.I.G.A.P.O.M's the one to keep it real with you. The poverty's in my streets, it's the real issue. RIP's on our T, say I still miss you. Yup, candlelight memorials, you know how the story goes. Younger had to die, only Lordy knows where homie goes. Yeah, that's the way the streets go with the flow. You gotta let God and let it go. This is what I see when I summertime stroll. When I summertime stroll. Walking through the block, everybody say hello. Some things never change, but the same stays old. So when it do change, make sure that you evolve like the evolution, like fungus growing on mold. This is what I see when I summertime stroll. When I summertime stroll. If you see me summertime strolling, just holler at me, homie. You know that we rolling. I'm strolling through my beautiful blocks and I'm puffing that loud from the night to the morning. If you see me summertime strolling, just holler at me, homie. You know that we rolling. I'm strolling through my beautiful blocks and we puffing that loud from the night to the morning. If you see me summertime strolling, just holler at me, homie. You know that we rolling. I'm strolling through my beautiful blocks and I'm puffing that loud from the night to the morning. If you see me summertime strolling, just holler at me, homie. You know that we rolling. I'm strolling through my beautiful blocks and we puffing that loud from the night to the morning.
All right, summertime stroll.
That's perfect for the weather outside.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
Very,
funny
very
when you were describing it, I started thinking about what was that?
You knew.
There's something else coming up.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about how, in the neighborhood, we would try to copy what we saw coming out of New York. Because during the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, we had go-go. We still have go-go music, but you had that mainstream rap influence that was coming down. So beatboxing, popping, breakdancing, and then being able to rap. But it still didn't catch on as fast as it is now. You have a lot of artists coming out of D.C. Some already signed, Logic, Wale, of course, things of that sort.
Logic, yes.
What do you think it would take? And I asked even EXO when he was on the show, what do you think it would take in order to get D.C. to be recognized for the quality artists? Because, not just blowing smoke at you. You're a quality artist.
Right.
I've seen you perform. Also, too, you're connected with the community and everything. EXO the same way. Kid named Breezy when we had him. Mm-hmm. So, what does it need to take or needs to happen in order for DC to really kind of be respected by those on the outside?
I mean, I love my city, but at the end of the day, a lot of us are. It's like a bandwagon city. You know what I mean? You're not tight unless you're on TV or they seen you somewhere real quick or heard you on the radio. You know what I mean? But, honestly, a lot of kids in my era that grew up, they know about the old history of D.C. musically. Duke Ellington, Thomas Pullen coming down here, the Rat Pack and all of those things, even to where, how a lot of people from the West Coast and the upper East Coast took Washington, D.C.'s and Baltimore's jazz style.
Right.
And now it's the doo-wop. Like, come on now. So
yeah, because this
area is jazz influence. It's a go-go. I mean, like I said, me and EXO was talking about it the other day, where Chuck Brown is really not from here, but he's built the foundation through his music and jazz influence through the go-go, to where he's not really the first go-go band. I have the picture in my phone right here who was the first go-go band, and EXO's grandfather is in there.
Oh wow!
And it's called the Young Senators, 1964.
Yeah.
That was the original go-go band. So, like I said, if you're gonna represent DC or whatever, you need to know your history, at least to me, and know where you're going with your music. Because a lot of you coming out here and I just hear, I'm from Southeast, South Dakota, and you rep like A lot of y'all calling out y'all hoods and not even know that was slave foundation.
Right.
So you got to know where you coming from, and I mean to even know where you're going sometimes, even with that music. And you know, on an industry level, the A&Rs don't care that we rapping lyrically. You know what I mean? The metaphors, the hyperboles, the characteristics, all of those things. Like, they don't care about that. You know what I mean? I've seen A&Rs even come to me when we did a little, you don't rap about, you know, drugs, E-pills, and how you used to grow up on the block. And yeah, I do. Listen to my music. You just don't hear it in the way that you want to hear it.
Right.
And that goes back to what I said about being hue. You know what I mean? Most people with no hue, they don't know what a real soul is because they can't vibrate off of that.
Oh, they're trying to vibrate off
and
of
that's
what
why,
the dollar or the,
yeah,
or
and
the
that's
niche.
why churches is the biggest thing in America. But if you go back home in Dominica, you may only see like probably 6 churches.
Right.
You know what I mean? In that neighborhood though.
Right.
But the neighborhood is big, so we don't. It's, you know, the Americans are more with the money thing, and I understand what it is, but God didn't put in God we trust on that dollar bill. So at the end of the day, we are all living in the matrix. Every time we spend $1, we are all playing that game. You know what I mean? Even myself, because we are built off of material things that as necessities, when the necessities are not material.
So for one, you're relevant. So you kept your material relevant, whereas that it resonates with people both on the streets, both that want to party, both of them that want to also be just enlightened, as it were. So how do we keep that at the same time, make it what it really is, a business? I mean, because music is, you know, power. It's a universe.
Yes.
But at the same time, you know, we educate and we also have to survive and benefit.
Right.
How do you get a balance with that?
There really isn't a balance. I just pray.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It's not a balance. I don't like money. I'm anti-government, everything. You know what I mean? Like I am. There's no way in the world that I'm sitting here. We are in the most powerful city in the world. People don't know how DC is connected to these people that's over here in Europe that basically took this land through bankings. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And now money and currency is built up, and now this place is called America. Right. You know what I mean? So I pray, you know what I mean? I pray for that. I just, you know, pray one day we can go back to our old indigenous habitat. And I help you build a house, help me get crop. You know what I mean? I really do. I wouldn't, because that's what they still do back home. Right. You know what I mean? You don't see too many people fighting over houses. Why? Because I can go to a sheet metal house, lay my own brick, build on foundation, dig it out, put cement in it, and now I got my own home. To where over here we have to find someone and depend on someone. And that's why I always hear a lot of Americans, oh, if you can't do nothing for me, I ain't doing nothing for you. Why would you hold me up to a material value that quick and you don't even know what I could? I might can save your life through CPR. But since you hold me to a value, maybe your life doesn't matter to me then. Yeah. Now you want help.
But see, that goes to what you're saying, is that life then has a dollar sign on it.
Yes.
And unfortunately, what we have seen from the time we've grown up even to right now, that dollar price changes always. I mean,
also, American currency is weak.
Yeah.
Like, you know, let's just be honest.
So what I'm getting at is, what really then is the value of a human life, you know, in that sense. And that's a shame, because what we enjoy the most, companionship, music, and how all that universally connects us together, gets cheapened because of the fact that we look at each other maybe as a dollar sign. And that
the matrix, I call it. Money, numbers, letters, that's all matrix. It has to deal with it. Me, I think what it is just me being honest. Like I said, I'm into astrology and all that, so I'm a Virgo. I play the chameleon. When I see you already walk around with your tail cut off, so I'm a make it look like my tail's cut off too. But my music is everything. Don't dare touch that. I will even sacrifice being locked away for my music, and I'm dead serious. Gotcha. Like I am. Gotcha. But in at a round table, when I'm looking at people of hue or not, I don't care what you care about me or what you're trying to get. I know your motive. Right. So let's play your game too, because the money that I'm going to get out of you and cheat you for, I got foundations that I'm trying to do and feed homeless, and everything that I went through, I'm trying to have some type of foundation for.
Let's talk about that. We're going to play another song. In fact, since you mentioned hue, we're going to go into Human mix.
Yes.
And listen to
I'm
that.
actually listen to this.
All right, that works. And then I want to talk about some of the things you've been doing in the school system, especially with DCPS and some of the charitable things that you've been hooked up with in that connection.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to play Human mix here on MASSOV Radio. Check it out.
Yeah, I love this song.
AB love mistakes. Ain't no mistaking what I'm about to say though. Did you really know that human came from us? So if he's not who, he's not you. God's beautiful genes are calculated them times two. Instead of giving you greens, I'm just giving you mind food. We made you in the Caucasus Mountains, my nigga. We the ones holding the youth inside the fountains, my nigga. The melatonin is showing what the cerebellum's knowing. Skin is glowing. You are the opposite of what we showing. Shall I go in? The shit gets to me. History's always taught from a man that took a land but forget to see. You slaughtered our indigenous land and took history like a mystery. Even copied the way we could fricassee. Shit sickens me. Now I ain't racist, but I'm speaking the truth. But real lies if you turn it red, but then I'm speaking to you. Those lies in the books are red. Yeah, I'm seeing through you. You was lying and Jesus features. Room in the New Jerusalem. I'm human. What am I supposed to do? I'm just telling the truth. I won't lie to you. I'm resupplying a fire inspired inside the youth. Those other dudes is just liars. They keep on lying to you, but just reply, I'm human. I turn around and ask, what are human? They was crucifying the leaders, the type of shit that I proved to them. I ain't trying to be rude to them, but I'ma tell the truth to the end. I'm human, but you men can't vibrate like us. You don't even have the genes that we in. We emulate in a walking style of genes that we in. I'm God's child, the man of color, ain't no need to pretend. Now if you follow the facts, then I will lead you right in. Your perception has been neglected by the message of men. You ain't noticed, they lied about Jesus up in the Bible. Blue eye, blonde hair man, they wanted to make him your idol. If you doing what I do, read between the lines and see these niggas lying in between the lines. My spirit is redefined. I'm the stand-up type where y'all niggas sitting with seats reclined. No wonder why you always need a spine. If you believe in what you seeing from these Europeans, they're peeing on us, making lesser of these human beings. I'm human, what am I supposed to do? I'm just telling the truth. I won't lie to you. I'm resupplying a fire inspired inside the youth. Those other dudes is just liars. They keep on lying to you, but just reply, I'm human.
Very deep, man.
That was serious.
That was pretty
That was
serious.
I turn around and I ask, what are you, man? That's serious.
Yeah, I turn around and ask, what are you men? I mean, look at what they do every day. If you look on TV, the cosmetics, you know what I mean? The pills for men. Like, I'm proud of me, you know what I mean? And there's nothing to take that away. You know what I mean? I love the fact that I'm Hugh. You know what I mean? So a light-skinned man can make a dark child or a light child. That's beautiful. Mm-hmm. You know, no other hue, you can't do that. And even if your child comes out albino, please know that that is a trait of hue, right, of mispigmentation.
Right.
So,
see, hip hop and rap to me doesn't have that resonating deepness today as I've heard you and EXO, even Breezy. You know, you guys, when I get in conversations with you, whether on the air or off, I learn something, and it's substance. You know, whereas that when I listen to interviews or even kind of connect with other folks, it's more personal beefs, or it's just, you know, I got to get mine, and it's almost like it's just kind of a piece of paper swirling in the wind. And it's refreshing because I think we, as an industry, have lost sight of what really works. Now, granted, there's commercialism, and most deep hip-hop artists, rappers, you hear in the underground pipe.
yes.
So, you know, most of that stuff doesn't make it to the airwaves. But you did have a time period where that stuff did make it to the airwaves.
Yeah, you did. I mean, if let's just be 100. If you was the evil person or the foundation of what America really is, and you knew that,
Shadon calls me the creep, so maybe that might be the
you know
same
what I mean? Yeah, no, it's just more so if you knew that somebody knew everything about you or your plots or what you're trying to do to you, yourself, or other people, would you really want that person to speak out on you? You know what I mean? No, you wouldn't. But a person like me, what I've been through and what I've do is nothing to really hide. Therefore, it's going to be seen by God anyway. Yeah. So, the people know who's behind the industry, and none of those people are from where we're from. They built where we're from, but they didn't live in those suburbs, urban areas, or the hoods, or the cities, or whatever you want to call them. But they took everything from them. Right. From sports to everything. I mean, I want to go typical back to the point, even basketball, that was an Indian game. Even hockey. I mean, we can go that far. So they took everything. Yeah. So it's just, they're there to give you the money, and that's the only thing I know as myself I pray for as it being a sin. Even myself, or even all of us, we go to work for something else. Has really nothing to really do with us, or the main scheme for us to even do. We just be able to provide for our children or our home, whatever. But like I said, that's a scheme. So nobody's not going to want you to know the main scheme when it comes to the music, and that's what it is. They know what they can promote to us. Why? And there's no disrespect, because the people of color, we sometimes can be stupid.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Soon as money come across, soon as I mean, this just a shame with us though. As soon as money is involved, it's like, oh well, here you go, all the morals and all of your insides. I don't care about that, you know what I mean? And that's just me. I'm a die without it regardless.
That's true. I mean, you can't take it with you. You never see a U-Haul, falling behind a hearse.
You never don't.
You
never do.
Yeah. But even the pharaohs, they got locked up with their riches, but this down in the Smithsonian is in the different museums around the world. So, I mean, it's for our enjoyment to watch it, but they don't have it. So, one of the things that I was interested in is your ability to reach out to the community and the things you've done. Like you did a performance at Cleveland Elementary School during their 100-year celebration. And when we were there, when I first met you, you expressed a lot of interest in the youth. Tell me how you got to that point where is that was really an interesting, plateau for you. That was just something that was bypass, or something that was just accidental.
It wasn't. It never was. Since a child, I was like that. I used to cry when you used to see the little 35 cents a day, little commercials as a kid. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have everything. You know what I mean? Because even at that time, my parents was big addicts of PCP, cocaine, crack, whatever you want to call it, of any drug, and they will support their habit but wouldn't even feed us. So I felt like I was one of those kids in the third world country, but I just wasn't living in the environment of mud houses and, sheet metal homes as of what I spoke of earlier. But also I was abused, you know what I mean? And I won't get into depths, but I was in every form of abuse that your mother or father wouldn't want their child to go through. Right. Or the biggest fear, I'll say that, the biggest fear, if y'all know what abuse, any child, you don't want your child to go through. Right. I went through that. Okay. I went through physical abuse. I was homeless. I was poor. I mean, why not be active for these kids? You know what I mean? And I was not. I consider myself a diamond in the rough, because we all are. We all came from the mud. It's just on my own time, I want the world to see what I can do for it, because, like I said, I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for stability, and that's the only sin that I have to have with the money is stability. But I really want to use the other money for homeless foundations, children that's been abused, molested, homeless. I mean, that's where it really comes from. You know what I mean? From being poor to being teased, to even now that you got stuff and you still can see how, you know what I mean, your parents are not addicts no more, but you can still see certain traits of their lifestyle now. Yeah. Because money is in their life now. They're not on that drug, but you're still an addict. It's just your new drug is money. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it's just, you know what I mean? And every day I walk past here in U Street, you know what I mean? You guys see how many people walk past homeless people, don't even give them $1. You know what I mean? And I was one of those people. Right. You know what I mean? I was one of those people, and that just bothers me. Yeah.
What I look at, too, is that society, it also takes a person of certain character and caliber because you stayed focused enough to get you to where you are right now. You know, people in the DMV represent, you know, what you believe, and they stay by because of what you say. You know, and you have a lot of artists that follow you for that. And there are many people that have been touched by what you have done and what you are currently doing, and more than likely, it's safe to say, will be touched and encouraged as the future
I'm going to continue this. I'm not, like I said, I still love party music. I still love, but you know, my main go through all of my music. Whether you went to the club, as they say, twerk, or whatever you want to call yourself doing, that money that you're paying for me or to invest or to believe in me is going back to somebody's child, someone's home, some type of groceries. Like I say, even before I leave, I'm doing a little sandwich thing. I'm going to the CC&V over there in 2nd and D, and I'm just going to make a whole bunch of sandwiches as much as I can with my own money. And
you got a date for that already? You want to put out there?
No, I don't have a date yet. Okay. I definitely, it's going to be right before I leave. I will contact you.
All right.
Give me at least by next week.
All right.
And like I said, I'm just going to make as many sandwiches as I can and give them out to the homeless. And
right.
That's just something, man. And like I said, it's just, like I said, when I grew up here in D.C., all the spots that people think is popping, it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like Adams Morgan was the area when I was growing up.
Right.
18th Street, my mother, and that was their area. So, you know what I mean? So it's just a lot. I've seen murders by the age I was 6, seen 4.
Yeah, I mean, this neighborhood in itself, man. Was talking with a local artist in her right as an author, Tanya Floyd, who's going to be here on the show as well. And we grew up in this area, and I mean, it is totally transformed.
I remember when U Street right here across from Republic Gardens was just an empty parking space.
Yeah.
I remember when 11th and U with the Bohemian Cavern was considered the old club called the Underground, and that's where my parents I used to sleep in that club.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So when I go in there to perform there, that is so funny that God takes me in there, and I have to remember every time I look at that bar, that's where I used to sleep at, because my parents was too intoxicated, or you know what I mean, they just didn't feel like taking us home to go to school the next day. So when I do finally get to school, I'm in school with the same clothes, smelling like whatever debris that they was blowing out of their chests.
Is that a humbling, sobering feeling?
It's a hurting thing. But it's also a humbling for me to remind myself, like, you know, no matter how much money I got or whatever, my 10% don't go to churches, no disrespect.
Right.
It goes to the actual church, and the church is the people.
Right.
My church is not a preacher. It's the people.
Right.
You get more soul from a homeless person than a man that's just trying to get that collection plate from you.
Right.
And I've seen that myself too, so that's another reason. So I believe in the Bible, but I don't believe in the way that the preacher may preach it.
Right.
It's typically what it says. It's not about that. It's not about going to church and seeing who got the best dress on, or did Althea put on her hat that match her shoes. It really isn't.
Right.
It's so old, that's stupid, and it's just blasphemous to me. That's blasphemous of hue. Color of hue, and hue of color and people. That's what they do at church. Yeah. So I don't do that. Like, my church are the homeless people, the people that's been abused, the killers, the sinners. That's my church. That's what I grew up around. Like, I learned how to be humble from killers. My dad, I mean, he was the most abusive man I probably would say in probably the world, man. Like, he was what they say, El Diablo. Like, he was very spiritually, was another thing of type of abuse people would never understand.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Unless you was Hispanic or African and knew what Santeria or Shangol is, the spiritual. He was demonically, something was wrong with my father.
Right.
But street smarts is what gave me the humbling life also, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also working with the government too.
Yeah.
I quit that job. Like, I'll tell you straight up. People call me stupid for that, but
right.
I know what that's all about too. I mean, I'm just trying to be here for the people.
I hear you.
And I know, you know, not trying to be funny, maybe when the stardom do come, I probably will get killed by them. I'm just being funny. Not trying to be funny, but what I stand for, they will assassinate me. I know that. Because I'm willing to fight for it. I'm not going to let here and all of the information that I got in my music or in my brain that I haven't even let out yet to give to you guys before they try to get me.
Yeah.
And I see it. Look at every artist that died all of a sudden, that stood up for something after they got tired of seeing what was going on.
Right.
Michael Jackson, Tupac, even Biggie Smalls. But they use that. I just watched it too much. It's no conspiracy theory. Sometimes you just got to be not stupid and just look at it and take it for what it is and look behind it. And that's why my great-grandmother said it. She knew the world was going to come to an end when the TV came in. Because people don't even know the TV was a European project, science project. See what I'm saying? It was a project on us. For when TV came in the world, it made all of the kids stop coming to the park so they can't vibrate off each other. Right. And that's why you have no respect. Kids right now, that's the first they know how to do. But they won't talk to a kid that they just meet randomly. Right. They won't do it no more.
Well, our society has kind of gravitated away from the whole, connection with each other, because ultimately, even, instead of telling your child why not to talk to strangers, or really what is a stranger, and you mentioned about abuse, research has shown that most abuse occur with a child, with someone that they know, versus a stranger.
Yep.
And even some of the things that you mentioned, galvanized that. Shout outs to Patrice and Sarah over at Children's Hospital Medical Center, Center for Abused Children. Met with them a couple of weeks ago on a project that they're doing with one of the local D.C. public schools. And that was one of the statistics that we were talking about, was that most abuse there is done by, people that the child knows and is comfortable with.
Any abuse that I ever went through was not a stranger. I'll put it just like that. So, period, point blank. My father was the abusive physical one. Mm-hmm. All the other ones was relatives.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's the truth. And that's the taboo of people of color, too, that we learned from that. That's why people just need to go back to that, and the whole taboo of the dealing with the inner family taboos that come from slavery. That just comes from slavery. If people can see it, if you watch the real movies, it wasn't about the man trying to figure out why is that black woman so beautiful. They was trying to figure out why men built the way that we are built too, and why women are built the way that we built. Yeah. That's what they really wanted to know, and that's why they used to put us in barns together. Put all the men together and put the women together. So if I want her, I can go get her. Mind you, my great-grandmother was a slave after slavery was abolished in Southern Maryland. This is what my great-grandmother is telling me.
Wow.
She died in 94. So slavery ended in the late 1800s. If I'm incorrect. So what is she doing still being a slave in Southern Maryland?
See, I think that's what a lot of people tend to forget.
And they fail to forget. And how DC was made.
Or they don't want to think about it, or they don't want it discussed, is even though slavery was abolished, it took another whole generation for it to be
out of
practice.
Yeah.
Like, it was still accepted. The police department still didn't say anything. It was just, even though the law changed, it was still accepted in large areas of the country. So it's like to say that slavery ended 400 or 500 years ago. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it still exists in Washington, D.C. We have these suburban families that get these African immigrants, Hispanic immigrants, bring them over here, promise them a good life and money, and they lock them down in the basement and have them doing laundry and washing the dishes. So it's like, I mean, it still exists. It's not a situation of racism per se, but it's just a situation of one person taking advantage of another.
We're going to have to take a break. We're going to be right back.